There's not a specific verse in the Bible that speaks to identity, but yet God speaks about identity from Genesis through Revelations. So many times God would have to dispatch an angel. There is even appearances of Jesus in the Old Testament where he came down from heaven just to tell somebody who they were. Because once a person realizes their true identity, nothing can stop them. One person who realizes who they are can change the entire world. But we're having an identity crisis. An identity crisis is a period of confusion and doubt about one's sense of self. It's triggered by life transitions or major changes. And when a person goes through an identity crisis, here's what will happen. They will question their values, their beliefs, their goals, and even their place in the world. There are people that you know that had rock solid values. And one thing happened in their life, and they threw all those values out the window. People that had beliefs, strong convictions and strongly held beliefs, but one thing switched in their life and they throw those beliefs away. They have no goals. They're questioning their place. Why am I even here? All because they're going through an identity crisis. Let me explain something to you. The devil knows he can't stop God. But he can stop the work of God if he stops you. Identity crisis. It's brought on by success. There are people that can experience great success and their identity be turned upside down. That's called imposter syndrome. It's where you get elevated to a position you don't think you deserve, and you're just looking around waiting to see when people are gonna find you out. They're about to figure out, I ain't that talented, I ain't that smart, I'm not that gifted. That's imposter syndrome. You don't think you deserve to be there. You don't think you belong there. And success has brought on an identity crisis. Moving to a new place, starting college or university, or another grade in school, career changes, relationship changes. Been married for decades, but the marriage fell apart. Your identity has been wife, your identity has been husband, but now that the marriage is gone, who are you? Your kids leave the home, they go on to college, they leave the house, and you've been mom for decades, but now there's no kids running around. Who are you? Identity crisis, becoming a parent, losing a loved one, trauma can all bring on identity crisis. Now in the natural, our identity is a sense of self and knowledge of who we are. When we are confident in our identity, then we know who we are. We know what we believe. We make decisions based on our personal values and belief systems, and we surround ourselves with people who reinforce what we believe about ourselves. That's the natural. But there's more to you than meets the eye. There's a spiritual aspect. And spiritually speaking, as believers, your identity does not come from what you do. Your identity is not based on how much you make. Your identity is not based on your title or your position in life. As a believer, my identity is found in one place, in Jesus Christ. And this is where believers miss it, because they keep chasing stuff to find out who they are when all they need to be is chasing Jesus. And if you find him, he'll tell you who you are. I have faith in who God says I am. Don't put faith in who people say you are. Do you remember Jesus walking around with his disciples and he asked them one time, who do people say I am? And they all got it wrong. Elijah, Moses, you're all these prophets come back from the dead. And he said, well, who do you say that I am? You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father which is in heaven. You didn't get this revelation from people. You got it from my Father. That's the only one who has the ability to tell you who I am and tell you who you are. So why do you keep going to people and saying, who am I? I've learned something about people. The people applauding you today will have their knives out stabbing you in the back tomorrow. And that's why if you live for their applause, you'll die by their criticism. Don't listen, don't run to people. Who am I? Tell me who I am. I need your affirmation to tell me who I am. I don't need your affirmation. My Father told me who I am. So I started thinking about this identity. And when I started thinking about this identity, I thought about some of the identities that we chase after. And one of the now you those of you going to college, don't do this. But there's something called a fake ID. And if you have enough money, you can, and somebody's got a good enough printer, you can get you a good fake ID. Now, why would you want a fake ID? The only reason you want a fake ID is because you want to get into places you're not supposed to be. And we got people walking around getting into problems they're not supposed to be in because they don't know who they are. But they got this fake ID of who I'm supposed to be. You're in a job you hate because you got a fake ID. You're in a relationship you hate because you got a fake ID. You're in a situation that you didn't have, all because you got a fake ID. You ever seen somebody's picture on their license and it doesn't look like who you're looking at? Who's in the picture? See, that's real. What I'm looking at is fake. I wonder what a church service would ever feel like if the authentic you ever came. You know, the one that's not afraid of what people will think if you just break down and start crying. The one that's not afraid of how people will look at you if you actually worship the way you want to worship. But the only reason you can't is because you're holding this fake ID. I can't let them know who I really am. Fake ID. There's another ID. Stolen ID. Someone else using your ID to live a life that is not yours. One estimate suggests that over 9 million identities are stolen annually. Just happened to me. I mean, I open my wallet and all these charges, my wallet app and all these charges start showing up. And the first one was for a burger place that served plant-based burgers. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't eat anything that didn't have a mother. What is this? So, plant-based burgers. And then I went a little further and it was this women's clothing store and I went, got her. Hey, Kim, you been shopping at this store? Ain't mine. I go a little further and my heart broke. Because all we hear, me, Sage, and Rush, is how we can't go to fast food because they're filled with the 7 deadly seed oils. So we can't eat at these fast food. But I got a charge on my wallet app that Kim's been stepping out eating at the Burger King. How is she going to the Burger King and we're sitting over here chewing on tree bark? I said, Kim, you been eating at Burger King? She said, it ain't mine. So I changed the number and one last charge came through. DoorDash to Cinnabon. I can't eat Cinnabon because I'll turn into a Cinnabon and be rolling me down the aisle into church. I can't eat Cinnabon. But this person's out there using my money, living their best life. Eating all the Cinnabon they want. Get new clothes. Eating at the Burger King. I can't eat at the Burger King. I'd like a Whopper, but I can't eat at the Burger King. And they're out there living their best life on my stuff. And I got upset and I called and I did something about it. I didn't just sit there and say, keep spending my stuff. But how many people are sitting in church and the devil has robbed you and stolen from you? And you just, oh well, what am I gonna do about it? I guess I just have to live with it. No, you don't. You don't have to put up with it. The devil's not worried about tomorrow because he stole your faith. You ever seen the devil make a doctor's visit? No, because he stole your healing. And we sit back and let him live the life we're supposed to live. But John 10:10 tells me like this: he came to steal, to kill, and destroy. But I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. I'm not gonna let the devil live my best life. I'm not gonna live with fear because he's living on my stuff. There's another one. Forgotten ID. Leaving behind something that gives you access to places you're supposed to be. If you've never had stress in your life, where is Tasia? Tasia, because I got to have a witness, because nobody, is traveling with Pastor Kim not the most stressful thing you've ever done in your life? It's not that it's because she always has more than enough time to make the flight. Have you ever heard them call somebody's name over the PA system that your plane is leaving? They know her by name. And they're like, your plane is on the runway. You got 1 second to make it, Kim. She missed a connecting flight because she thought she had more time. It is stressful. And before we leave for the airport, we're in the car, we're pulling out of the driveway, and I gotta look at her and say, do you have all your ID? Do I need it? Only every time. Because if she gets up to that security checkpoint, it does not matter that she has a ticket to the plane. If she can't prove that's her, she doesn't get access. And some of you keep missing flights because you keep forgetting who you are. You keep missing next levels. You keep missing new opportunities. You keep missing elevations blessings that God's trying to bring in your life. And you keep missing it because you keep forgetting who you are. But not just that, whose you are. So we were walking through that pre-check, clear. And we had Sage and Rush with us. Rush 6 years old, and we get up to the officer, and I scan everything. And the officer looks down at Rush and he says, "Son, who are these people to you?" And he gets this look on his face, and he goes, and I'm standing there going, "This is not a trick question. And then he looks at me. What do I say? I know who you are. Do you know whose you are? And when we got out, I said, "Son, if you ever get asked who these people are to you, the answer is mom and dad." Not necessarily in that order. You can pick one first. But how did you forget it? Whose? And there are so many people in this room today, and whenever you're faced with a trial, you keep looking up like, and you forget whose you are. What is a trial to you? You're a son and a daughter of the Most High God. What is a problem to you? Your God has given you the authority to move mountains. What is a challenge to you? God has made you an overcomer in all things. Don't forget who you are, and don't forget whose you are. Somebody give God a big praise in this room. We're letting the devil steal our identity, live on our identity, make us forget our identity. If our kids don't know who they are, what if we don't know who we are? No wonder we're defeated. Don't know who we are. No wonder we're broke. No wonder we're discouraged. No wonder we're burned out. We don't know who we are and we don't know whose we are. We've got an identity crisis. And it's running rampant. And the devil does not have the power to create. He only has the power to redefine, pervert, or manipulate that which God has created. And because we don't know who we are, the devil is defining for us who we are. Or should I say, redefining, perverting, and manipulating. Here's the big idea. You are who God says you are. Now watch this. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 9. Don't lie to each other. Woo, that's good right there. I just stopped right there. Don't lie to each other. So just that's the word of the Lord. So wives, be careful when you ask your husband, how do I look today? He can't lie. Does this make me look thin? He's going to be like Colossians 3. That's all he's going to say. Colossians 3. Why don't we lie to each other? Because you've stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on your new nature or your new identity and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. So He not only tells you what to do, He tells you how to do it. Take off the old. Put on the new. How do I put on the new? You gotta know who He is. You will never know who you are until you know who He is. How would your life be different if you started making decisions based on who God says you are? I can promise you, if you started living your life based on who God says you are, you wouldn't date just anybody. You wouldn't get into business with just anybody. You wouldn't give your time to just anybody. But when you know who He says you are, it'll change your life. I want you to say this with me. I wrote this down. Say this with me. If I am, now you got to understand the I am. The I am I'm talking about is Moses talking to the burning bush. Who shall I say that sent me? I am. So, number one, if I am, say it, if I am, says that I am, then I am, because I am, said that I am. Let's do that again. If I am, it'll help if you point. If I am, says that I am, then I am, because I am, said that I am. And I don't need to check with you, and I don't need to ask you, and I don't need to talk to you about it. If I am, said that I am, then I am, because I am, said that I am. So let me give you these last few points, and then we'll close, and we're going to pray over all these kids. You will live up or down to whoever you believe you are. You will live up or you will live down to whoever you believe you are. Do you remember when David came looking for a young man by the name of Mephibosheth? Do you remember where he found him? Where did he find him? Under a table. What was Mephibosheth's first words to David? What do you want with a dead dog like me? He's living under a table because he's living down to who he believes he actually is. David finds him and says, you're not a dog. You are a part of a royal family, and you will forever eat at the king's table. The next time we see him, he's seated at the king's table. Why? Because one person changed how he saw himself and how he thought about himself. And it not only changed what he believed, it changed where he lived. And what's gonna happen when God tells you who you really are? You ain't gonna be living low anymore. You're gonna start living like the royalty. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. You've been called out of the darkness into His marvelous light. You say, why is it important who I believe? Because my behavior will align with who I believe that I am. See, some of you are acting ways that you were never intended to act. That's because of that fake ID. Because you believe you're something you're not. Or you believe something somebody spoke over you, that this is what you're supposed to be. It's not even your fake ID. You keep living up to their fake ID. And your behavior is following what you believe. And so you got to start shifting, and you got to ask some questions before you make a decision, before you get in a relationship, before you do something. You got to ask a question like this: is this decision in alignment with who God says I am? And when it's not, you have to learn how to say, that's not me. You know how other people, when somebody talks about them on social media, they clap back? That's not me. Because I'm above that. And lions don't pay attention to barking dogs. I'm beyond that. That's not me. Just tell somebody, that's not me. I don't respond like that. That's not me. I don't talk like that. That's not me. I don't go to, that's not me. And here's another way you can say it. You ready? I'm gonna teach you something that's gonna help you. Say no. Say it. Say no. It was tough for some people to say that. Just say no. I don't participate in that. So you're going. It happens. You get people and they say, I heard some stuff going on at Citygate, and I got the inside. I've been talking to somebody on the inside. Can I tell you what? No. I don't participate in that. That's called gossip. And it's one of the 7 things that God hates. No, I don't participate in that. No, when somebody tries to date you and no, I don't participate in that. I'm not into missionary dating. I'm not gonna date you in order for you to get saved. Get saved, live for God, serve, tithe, learn who He's called you to be, because I know who He's called me to be. And I'm not gonna marry you just to help you figure out who you are. Your identity is the foundation of your calling. Purpose is not what you do, purpose is who you are. Purpose, stop chasing purpose. Oh, I got to find my purpose. Oh, if I can ever figure out my purpose, I'm going to chase my. You got any good books on how to find my purpose? Talk to Him. I didn't make you. That author of that book didn't make you. Go find the person who wrote this book. He knows who you are. He knows why He created you. Ask Him. And when you find out what He's called you to do, you'll find out your purpose for being on this earth. I heard somebody say the other day, well, I don't feel called. And I read this great quote. It said, your feelings are not the engine, they're the caboose. They'll catch up. Last one, 4th. As a parent, it is my responsibility to tell my kids who they are. Because if I don't, the world will. You're sending your kids back off to school, some this week, some next week, sending them off to college. You make sure you get a hold of them and you tell them, look me in the eye. Stop raising kids that can't look people in the eyes. They can't look people in the eyes because they don't have any confidence. Teach them when somebody's talking to you, look them in the eyes. Don't look away from them. Don't be intimidated by them. Look them in the eyes. You know who you are and you know whose you are. And you grab them and you say, you look your mom, you look your dad right here in the eyes. Because I know if I don't tell you, the world will tell you who you are when they get out there, but it's going to be a perverted, manipulated redefinition of who God says you are. So you look right here at me. You are a son and you are a daughter of the Most High God. God has not just called you, He has chosen you. He has put His favor and His anointing on you. You don't have to back down from anyone because you kneel before your Father in heaven. You have a calling on your life. You have an anointing on your life. You're not just a person. You're an earthen vessel with a heavenly treasure on the inside of you. Don't let anybody, just anybody, find that treasure. Know who you are. Know whose you are. Stand with me all over this room if you will. One final question. What if for one Sunday, just one Sunday, what if we agreed with who God says we are instead of listening to what the enemy says we're not? What if just for one day you believed what He said about you in this book and you came into agreement with it? What if you said something like this? And now, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Let the bound say, I am free. Let the sick say, I am whole or healed. I'm a child of the Most High God. His thoughts for me are more than the grains of sand on the seashore. He rejoices over me with singing. He knows my rising up. He knows my lying down. He knows the path that I take. And when I am tried, I shall come forth as pure gold. Oh, how precious are your thoughts to me. His children will know their God. They will be strong and they will do exploits. That's what your Bible says. So I want you to lift your hands right now. And I want you to say, God, I want to know you. And I want you to tell me who I am. Today, say, God, today, I'm laying down the fake identity. I don't want to be what people told me I am, what the world told me I am. I'm tired of being a fake and a phony. I want to be who you called me to be. God, I'm tired of watching the devil live using my stuff, stealing my joy, stealing my peace, stealing my blessing. No, no, no. I'm laying hold of that thief today, and I'm saying he must return 7 times everything that he's stolen. God, I'm not going to forget who I am, and I'm not going to forget whose I am. I'm a son of the Most High God. I'm a daughter of the Most High God. We are children of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And as He is, so are we in this earth right now. If you believe it, I want you to give Him the biggest praise you've given Him.